don't know if this is going to work. I don't know if this will work. Try not to move too much. Hey guys, late again, but this time it was for an even cooler reason. My sister just showed up and surprise visited me with my niece, and she just started to walk. So I'm kind of happy that I got to see that. Hey C, how's it going, girl? So yeah, late because I got to see my baby walk. Hello everybody. So there's like a glare in my room. I don't know how to not have a glare. And I was being super feisty saying I had really good hair. Isn't this funny? Hey, how's it going, everybody? You guys having an awesome weekend? Yeah, I know, eh? It's just I can't manage the beast. So I was like, go with it. Also, I'm totally due to get it unglittered. That'll happen next weekend. All right, everybody. So before I get into it, I think a few of you wanted me to show you T-shirts and tanks that I still have. So I'll just do a quick thing because I was getting asked to send pics and stuff. So I'll just do a live so you see real quick, and then we'll get into the subject tonight. So that's T-shirts that I have. If you like anything I show you, just inbox me or text me and I'll say what I have available, okay? So that's one of the tops. Cute, eh? And then these tanks, I think, are super sweet. They're very soft. Check the back. It says, feed that glow. Isn't that sweet? And in the front, sassy, right? So I have it in pink and I have it in blue. Ladies who are a little bit, you know, unsure about wearing little straps like that, these are super sweet, even to like pair under other things. So you could train in them, you can sleep in them, you can live in them. They're comfy, they're pretty. So anyway, shameless plug, but I just thought it'd be easier if I just showed you straight up what they look like. And if you're interested in any, text me and I'll tell you what stuff I got left, what sizes I have left. So besides that, yeah, Amanda, you should totally take a picture and just like put it on the page. Show everybody what you got. Then that way people might like it. I love mine too. I think they're really comfortable. But of course I would, right? That's like bias. So you guys having an awesome weekend? Isn't it fabulous outside? And this tripod is shaking on the bed. So let's get into it. I wanted to talk to you ladies about, obviously, December is right around the corner. Thanks, Amanda. You're sweet. And remember when we started 2016 and how we're going to go into 2017, right? Every year is the same thing. So now you're going to start seeing a lot of people with their New Year's resolutions and all this other jazz. I quit resolutions years ago. Instead, I like to have a word that I'm going to focus on for the rest of the year. And then it just gives me a different perspective on how to get after things. And you know what, ladies? It doesn't have to always do with weight loss, okay? So we don't always have to be dieting. You can't be professional dieters. We've talked about that before. If you're thinking about going back to school, if you're thinking about switching a job, if you're thinking about, I don't know, skydiving, whatever is challenging you, or whatever little goal you have that kind of scaring you, then I'm going to tell you, go do it, because there's something there to learn, right? So if let's talk about it. Yeah, I love it. Quit resolutions, Pam. I miss you. So let's talk about, if I were to ask you, ladies, straight up, whatever, if you had resolutions or if you've been setting a goal, but you're always struggling at it. Oh, nice. Starting your own business. So then if I were to ask you ladies who have already set goals, or you're always repeatedly setting goals and then you're getting stuck, and getting stuck is part of the process, ladies. So that's like, we're going to get into that. Let me ask you, like, why haven't you attained it, or what's holding you back, right? So tonight's topic is going to be about the two things that really get you stuck, okay? So number one is fear. And number two is using the word luck in your vocabulary, okay? So let's get into fear. So everybody knows that fear is false expectations appearing real, basically, right? So fear will paralyze you. You can be afraid of failing. You could even be afraid of success. So a lot of people will sabotage their goals. So if we do go back to the weight loss goals, they'll say to me, I'm doing so good all week, but then weekends come and I struggle. Why do I sabotage? Maybe you're afraid of succeeding, right? Maybe you're afraid of having a success story and that everybody's looking at you like, what did you do? What's your magic formula? Like now you're going to start seeing a lot, and I've been seeing a lot of transformations, which is cool. But then you're going to start to question your own methods, right? So maybe you don't want that kind of attention on you, or maybe it's not really a goal you want to have. So fear. I want to talk to you why I think that fear, you can use it as a good thing to help you get after your goals. Okay, bye, Michelle. Thanks for coming. You texted me a nice picture of your top too, so that was awesome. You should share it on the page. So fear. Why do I think it's a good thing? Because you can use that as a way to fuel yourself to not stay where you are. Okay? So you can either choose to be paralyzed and not make any decisions because, you don't want to look bad, or you don't want to mess up, or you don't want people to laugh at you, or you don't want to stand out, or maybe you just don't want to succeed because you're, deep down, you don't want that attention. Or you could so that's hard work, or you could just use the same energy is used for both. So the same energy that you're going to use to have all these reasons, excuses, and whatever, justified or not, to not get after your goals. Or you could turn around and say, despite feeling uncomfortable and despite the uncertainty of things, I'm still going to go for it because it's still the same amount of energy. And you know what, guys? Life, we already know, is ending 1 minute at a time. So if you are constantly saying, or maybe not constantly, but you come up with ideas of things that you want to do, but then you struggle, you get stuck, so you're like, maybe it wasn't for me. But if that thing keeps coming up, maybe there is something there for you. So why not take the same energy that you're using to talk yourself out of it and use it to talk yourself into it? And just it's about having trusting that you'll figure it out, right? So fear, to me, could be used as a super good thing. Just like I'm going to start teaching self-defense seminars, and they teach you that. It's not about being afraid for the rest of your life, that if you ever get attacked or whatever, but it's about knowing that you can go against it. So you can go against and take that energy and fight for it. Get out of the situation that you're in, or listen to that intuition you have, that it's speaking to you, right? And I did put little notes because you guys know I'm all over the place, but yeah, for sure. So there's that. Yeah, so fear, you can either say, I'm too afraid, I'm not going to look at it, or you can say, F that, I'm all in, because it's the same amount of energy. Second word is luck. So you're going to see people, like I just said, you're seeing a lot of people maybe on your news feed, maybe not, with transformations and things like that. Awesome. But they're not overnight successes. Okay. So you can't think that somebody else's journey is super easy, because it's not. Anything that's easy is not going to last. Anything worth having in life comes with work, lots of hard work, and it's not always going to be fun work, right? Sometimes you got to do stuff you really don't want to do. It's life. I don't like folding socks. I still have to do it sometimes. So luck. To me, luck, if you are one of those people who say, oh, so-and-so has all the luck, you're so lucky. How, if you listen to the language, a lot of people use this word. Luck is like a unicorn. Okay? So instead of using luck, why not use faith? Okay, so if you have trust in the process and trust yourself that you can figure things out, it has nothing to do with luck. Okay, it's going to have to do with a lot of consistency, small daily actions, you know, showing up for yourself, having those goals set out. Like instead of having an outcome goal, have a behavior goal, right? What are you going to do every day to show up for yourself? And again, this doesn't always have to do with weight loss. It's applicable to anything you want in life. So if you want to change your career or you want to go back to school, what are you going to do every day to get after that? If you want to be a better parent, like I want to know how to, you know, not maybe freak out as much, you know, how to keep my cool and not like jump to the worst conclusions. That's taking work, right? So it's to know you got to do work. Like there's always work to do, and anything worth having is going to come with a struggle. But the struggle is the way. Like you have to embrace that, because that's where the growth is. That's where the magic is. So luck does not exist. And inner strength, yes. Yeah, and just knowing that, like ask yourself, out of all the crappiest days you've ever had in your life, and I know that a lot of us, like most people, we have sometimes really shit days. Ask yourself, what is your success rate getting out of that? It's like 100%. You finally give in and you trust the process, and next thing you know, a few weeks down, a few months down, you're like, oh my God, remember when I was stuck? How did I get out of that? You finally just surrender to the process and you just go. Sometimes it just happens. You know, it's like mindless. You wake up and you're like, how did I get out of that? What did I do? You know? I don't know if you guys have stories like that you want to share, but for sure, if anybody ever says, oh, you're so lucky, no. Luck doesn't exist. Faith exists. Hard work exists. Anything you have in life, you worked hard for. You know, I know anything I have in my life, I've worked hard for. And I know a lot of you women, personally, you're hauling ass. You're kicking butt every day. You show up. So what you have, you worked, you built. There's no luck in there, right? I don't know if this bed is shaking. So yeah, so those are the two main reasons why people stay stuck. Fear, and they put all their I guess their energy into luck, right? And you work hard for that, Amanda. So, and what an amazing example, like for your kids, you know, a lot of women, we don't realize how much of an impact we actually do have on the lives of others. Yes, blessed. Blessed is different than luck, right? Fortunate is different than luck. A lot of the times we intertwine these words, and no. Being blessed, yes, and being fortunate for sure, but luck has nothing to do with it, right? You put out the energy that you're going to receive. So if you're a positive person and you're able to focus on, you know, the little rainbows in life, you know, and be grateful, then you will have people like that in your life. If you're a person who struggles with a lot of negativity and you feel that life is constantly happening to you, then really you have to look at that mindset and the energy that you're putting out, you know, and guaranteed, if you're a person who is struggling with, you know, negative things constantly coming at them, and you start saying things like, oh, so-and-so is so lucky, they get all the luck, like guaranteed you're a person that's saying something like that. Or you think life is always happening to you. You know, Tony Robbins, like, oh my God, if you guys haven't seen I'm Not Your Guru, go check it out. Like, awesome. But always challenging yourself. Life doesn't happen to you, it happens for you. So if something happens in your life, and they say sometimes things will happen and it's like, my God, I just feel like I just went through this. That's because you didn't learn the lesson that you needed to. I honestly believe that. There's no accidents in life. I honestly believe that. You are a silver lining finder. Yeah, it's all about finding the rainbows, right? And sharing the rainbows and being grateful. I mean, some days your rainbow is going to be like, I got out of bed. That's awesome. You know, you got to stack those mini wins. You can't think that you can go through life and everything is going to be peachy hunky-dory, because that doesn't exist. You know, I have my crap days. Honestly, I do. But I know who I need to talk to pull myself out of that mindset. Or sometimes I allow myself to live it a little bit. I'll throw myself a little pity party, but then it's like, snap out of it, get out, because how is this being proactive? How am I being productive? How am I going to get after what I want? Can I sit here and just, you know, cry all over it? It's still a lot of energy. Or can I say, okay, there's something to learn here. What do I need to do? Dive deeper, connect with those you trust. Like, don't bleed in front of sharks, ladies. That's like the best piece of advice I can share with you. Never bleed in front of sharks. So sometimes people will post stuff on social media, little rants and stuff. Okay, cool, sure. But just know that you're attracting that energy back, right? So sometimes it's better to go to the person you have issues with directly, or ask yourself, what is it about that that's lighting me up? You know, sometimes most times it has nothing to do with you. You think that it does, but it doesn't. Everything happens for a reason. Yeah. It's true. It's true. And you know what, ladies, I'm a big believer that sometimes, I believe people come into your life for a reason. Always. And we all have a purpose in life. I do believe that. And I believe sometimes things happen to us that there's no, happen in our lives, not to us. And there's no explaining why. And maybe you were a lesson for somebody else. So sometimes you're not going to know, you know, and because horrible things happen sometimes, you know, bad things. And you wonder, why did that happen? Why did that happen? Well, sometimes it's not for you to know. You're teaching a lesson to somebody else. Anyways, that just helps me sleep at night. Everybody's got their own belief system, and I totally respect that. I just know that if you let fear paralyze you, you're going to be stuck in the same place. So this time next year, if you're saying, I'm going to do this, that's another thing. If you have, like, your goal list is too big, it's never going to happen. I say put it down to one thing and then get laser focused. You know, like laser focus. What are you going to do? How are you going to achieve it? Break it down into mini goals. With behaviors, how are you going to attain that? You know, if you're going back to school or you're changing careers and you got to learn a whole new pattern, what are you going to do? You have to put in the time. So how are you going to fit that time in your schedule? It's things like that. Oh, I love that. It's a bad day, not a bad life. Yeah, you always get to reset. On that note, though, ladies, I can't even remember where I read that, but it's awesome. We often think that sometimes we have, emotions. We think emotions cause thoughts. I'm going to tell you how come that's not true. It's the thought that causes the emotion, and there's like a few seconds difference. So let's say, and I'm trying to remember who I read this from, but I'll just explain it, and if you've read it or you've heard this, you can tell me who it is, and we can give credit to that person. I have a really bad memory. Let's say you're walking in the woods, and it's kind of getting dark outside. You're walking in the woods, and you see a shape that kind of looks like a snake. What will your first thought be? Oh my God, that's a snake. Then fear, right? Or like freaking out, or like, oh, what the hell is that? Now, let's say you have a flashlight and you flash it on the shape and you realize it's a rope, or it's a branch, or it's a root of the tree, or whatever. Then you shut your flashlight off, you keep walking, and you're no longer scared because your thoughts told you it was okay. Immediate calm. So we always have a thought that makes the reaction of the emotion, and then how we choose to react to that. So I find a lot of times in life, and this came from the same person that I can't remember. Oh, guys, I'm sorry. But he was basically talking about, we spend so much time on our physical ailments. We spend so much time on like what we need, what we want, you know, all that other stuff. Not that it's not important, but we never address the emotional stuff in our lives. We spend less than 1% on how our emotional states are. And then we wonder why we have problems with depression, why we have problems with our joints, why we have problems with all kinds of things. But we never really take the time to, you know, to go deep and be more spiritual and figure out, what am I feeling? Why am I feeling like this? You know? And he was talking about when somebody says something to you, the way you take it and interpret it is what makes all the difference. So oftentimes you'll see this with women. we think that if another woman, and I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but a lot of women will think, oh, look at her, she looks so good. And automatically our thought is, what's wrong with me? Right? Her beauty doesn't take away from your beauty. It's not like a pie and she took a piece and now you're left with less than. No, it's abundance. So yeah, she looks good. Her beauty has nothing to do with me. She looks good. So tell her she looks good. A lot of women, we eye each other up and down and we're afraid to give compliments because we're like, you know, we do the resting bitch face or whatever. If I see something nice, I will tell you, you know, if I think that you look super sweet, I'm going to tell you because I'm not afraid that it's taking away from me. But some of us struggle with that. Or we think so-and-so is so smart, so I'm not. You know, like think about that. We do this in a lot of aspects of our life. And there's enough abundance to go around for everybody. So it's not like a little pie and I cut off half and now you get none. Like it's just a different way of looking at things. I'm not sure if I'm cutting off, but you guys can just let me know. So yeah, basically, I'm not sure how long I've been on either. I wish this thing had a timer. But yeah, so basically what I want you to do, let's get some homework and like some actionable stuff. Ending 2016, I want you to sit down with a journal and ask yourself, what did you originally set out for yourself? You know, and when as we get into 2017, I'll do another video, but we're going to talk about dropping the New Year's resolutions because I think that's total BS. I want to give you another way, another perspective that you might like. And just think of it. You can always go back to the old way. You know, sometimes we try something new and we're afraid to try something new, but just knowing that you can always revert back to the old way takes off any pressure. So take a journal. And now I want you to really reflect back on these past 11 months. Ask yourself, are you where you want to be in life? Are you doing what you want to be doing? Or are you miserable? Are you struggling with certain things in life? Or where, you know, just heavy, heavy questions. And ask yourself, because a lot of the times we know, we just tell it to shut up. Okay? So there are actionable steps. Go deep. Ask yourself. Write it in a journal. Hide the friggin' journal. You don't have to share this with anybody. You could totally send me. I love reading stuff like this and I won't share. But sometimes it's good, you know, to just share it with people that you can trust. And ladies, even if you don't know me, you could trust me. Yeah. Ask yourself, what is it that I wanted to accomplish this year? Where did I find myself stuck? Why did I find myself stuck? And then I want you to start reflecting on how you want 2017 to be. So how are you going to be different this time next year? Okay? Because the time is going to pass. So I want you to ask yourself, what is it that you truly want? So you're going to write that down. Then you're going to write down what are the fears that are holding you back in regards to that. So write it down. Write down the worst case scenario. Then I want you to look at your answer and say, if that did happen, could I handle that? And I can guarantee you, for sure you can. Probably uncomfortable as F, but guaranteed you can figure it out. It won't break you, okay? If you tell yourself it won't break you, it'll only make you stronger. You're already ahead of the game. Then I want you to really figure out a way of how you're going to take that goal and how you can make it smaller, break it up, okay? And if anybody wants to share stuff with me, feel free. I love reading that stuff. Again, your goal does not have to be weight loss. I love when women share true life ambitions because losing weight in our life is not the end all be all. Okay, you're still an amazing person no matter what your body shell looks like. Okay, yes, health, optimum health is obviously number one, but remember, overall health is here as well as here as well as here. Okay, so you get your mind right and your body will follow. Okay, so, and it's more complicated than just me telling you, okay, now ladies, I want you to love yourself. Please just start loving yourself. Honestly, like, that's annoying as all. It's harder than that. It's little bite sizes. right? And to realize that sometimes it's going to suck, and that is okay. So besides that, I want you girls to take that fear and feel yourselves. Realize that it's not a bad thing. It's not always a bad thing. You could take it and make it a positive. And last thing that I want you to do is really pay attention to your language. Your language, and maybe by you paying attention to your language, guaranteed you'll hear everybody else in your circle. Listen for words like, I'm so jealous, you're so lucky, things like that. Automatically, game changers, you're going to see. So, and if you, once you notice it, you can remove those words, replace them with something else, because you know, as I do, luck has nothing to do with it. And jealousy has nothing to do with it. That means there's just work for you to do down there and explore and do it. Go all in, because honestly, this is your life. Fierce independence. Ooh, I love those words. You should write those down right now on a big Bristol board or on a nice journal. Fierce independence. Sassy and fierce. I love it. So anyways, ladies, with that, I'm going to go because I think there's a super moon, and before I put the low to bed, I want him to see that, and then I got mama chores to do. So take your fear, leverage it, be positive, even when it sucks. Be proactive, right? Sitting around and being a victim is not being proactive. Taking action. Take the action to gain the momentum. So just step out and do it. All right, ladies, peace, love. And if anybody wants any tank tops or t-shirts, let me know. All right, have a good one. Oh, I'm also working on another free challenge for you ladies. I'm just going to iron out the details, but I want you to help get through the holidays with less stress. Sweet. Love ya. Okay, bye.